coach of the Oregon State Beavers, Tanya Chaplin. And one of the best things about Jade Carey's 10 was the genuine look of surprise on her face when she was done. Are you ever surprised by anything she does?
No, I mean, she has that in her every time, but you know, you fight so hard for those sticks, so you never know when that's actually might just be off here or there, but yeah, we see that all the time.
And then how do you carry that momentum over to bars?
Well, we're just really trying to focus in on the moment, staying present, one skill at a time. And so, you know, you celebrate the victories along the way, and then you get back into your bubble and you focus in on what you need to do at that moment.
Tanya, it's incredible to me to watch you here in your 26th year, and it seems when I talk with you that you're like in a coach in your 4th or 5th season, and just so enthusiastic about what you're doing. How do you do it?
You know, I love what I do, and I get to come, you know, to work every day, and I have a passion for what I do. So it's fun to be able to help athletes along the way, you know, to achieve the goals that they want to achieve. So it's not work, you know, when you love what you do.
And you have a really young team specifically over on bars with a mix of freshmen and sophomores. Can you talk about their improvement on that event over the season?
Yeah, they have been doing a great job of, you know, coming into this week in and week out, focusing on the details even more so than you ever do in club. And they've jumped in with both feet, and they're giving us everything they can. So that's what's most important. We know every time they go up, they're putting everything they can into each turn. And so it's just helping them learn how to regulate and come through with a great performance.
Well, been a great performance so far. Good luck the rest of this meet.
Thank you.
All right, that is Tanya Chaplin, head coach of Oregon State. Jade Carey will be on bars along with 5 of her teammates when we come back for rotation 2 from Corvallis. Oregon State leads by .175, narrow lead after 1 rotation. We head to the second rotation and take a look back at what happened in our first rotation. Again, Jade Carey with the perfect 10 on vault, the 6th 10 and second on vault in her college career.
She's one of just 4 athletes competing that Yurchenko double vault in college. It is so hard to stick, it's so intricate, and when she does, it's perfect. There's no deductions that you can find. So great to see her celebrating with her teammates and really enjoying college gymnastics.
And 9-9 on bars from Bailey McCabe.
A new career high for Bailey McCabe in a really pressure-packed position she needed to hit to erase a fall from a previous teammate. This is the second week in a row she's gone career high, just working her way up, and it's because of landings like that. Beautiful double layout.
Big job for McCabe. At a time when her team needed it. And now Arizona heads to the vault and Oregon State heads to the bars. The home team always goes in Olympic order. Vault, bars, beam, and floor. Visiting team will go bars, vault, floor, and beam. And Caroline Harry will start it off on vault. The junior from Argyle, Texas, has competed in every meet of her 3-year career. Career high 9.775 last week at home against Washington. Last week 9.775. Her career high is 9.825.
This has been the spot for Caroline on vault, always in the lead off. She'll do that Yurchenko full, worth a 9.95, so where they really need to differentiate is in the landings. Really powerful block, good distance. Lacked a little bit of the height to allow her to drop in for the stuck landing, but probably about a 2/10 deduction. I would say the vault judges have been a little bit tight, so we could see that landing around the 9.75 mark.
We'll see Caroline Harry a couple of other times today, beam and floor. And now Carly Beeman will start it off on bars for Oregon State. Bar specialist, was in the lineup on bars 10 times last year. Has led off every meet this year. Master career high with a 9.85 last week against Cal. Had a 9.85 5 times in her career, 4 last year and 1 this year.
The weight here is from Michael Chaplin at the judges table. I'm pretty sure he's adjusting the lineup somehow. So we'll see how that plays itself out.
Here's Carly Beeman, the sophomore from Golden, Colorado. We'll keep you apprised of any lineup changes.
Carly's really a tall athlete, and look at her extension throughout this routine. Really sets her apart. Bent arms a little bit on the catch for that Jaeger. And again on the pec salto, so just tiny deductions throughout. She'll do a beautiful stalter right here, straddles into her double tuck with no hands, doesn't even barely hold on, and a nice landing. So you can see her release move here, this straddle Jaeger she will do. So it's on the high bar, front flip, 3 catches. So she was just a little too close to the bar, which means she hung on a little bit too much. But this is just a gorgeous piece of gymnastics. That stalter into the double tuck, and just, I don't know if they're going to call that a stick. It's like her feet slid just a tiny bit.
Carly Beeman, chemistry major, focus on advanced biochemistry. 9.75 for Caroline Harry, and now here is Emily Muller, had a 9.75 on bars.
We'll see that Yurchenko full, same vault from her. Nice straight body position. I liked the height that she got off the table on that. And she hiked down her hips a little bit as she approached the floor. So you'll see a good straight arm block, but her hips piked, so they bent a little bit at the hips as she's coming down, which prevented her from really nailing the landing.
Emily, again doing the all-around today. 9.85 for Carly Beeman. That's the 6th time in her career she's gotten that. It is her career high. And now another bar specialist, freshman Ellie Weaver from Vancouver.
Gorgeous combination to start. Blindfolded Jaeger. Nice catch. Look at the toe point and just the command she has over bars. Makes it look very easy.
Should specify Vancouver, Washington, just on the other side of the Columbia River from Portland.
And a great job controlling that handstand. Was a little bit over, but held on and then grabbed the stick on that double tuck.
Her career high is also a 9.85, which she has accomplished twice.
Look at this handstand. So she is over just in the slightest. Really has to be mentally tough to not let that rattle her, and just a phenomenal landing there.
Is it better to go over in the slightest and hold it like that than to be short?
It is. You get a little bit less deduction. Judges can actually only take deductions in half 10 increments, but it gives her a little bit more control over the ensuing skills.
Danielle Nosip, a senior.
Wow, the block difference there. She got a ton of height on that Yurchenko full. Made it look really easy in the repulsion off the table. So you're gonna have a good shoulder angle and a nice lift, and just the tiniest of hops back on the landing.
Lisa, you do an excellent job of explaining this so people can understand what they're trying to do.
It's so hard. I would love to see a layperson out here almost in every sport that we get to watch differentiate these vaults. They're all so good, so strong.
A 9.9 for Ellie Weaver, a new career high after a pair of 9.85s earlier in her freshman season. And now here's Francesca Casso, a freshman from Santa Monica, California. All Olympia Gymnastics Center, posted a 9.8 last week after a career high 9.85 a couple of weeks ago. The only time we'll see her today.
Francesca has a gymnastics pedigree. Her dad competed at UCLA. Really nice connection and solid handstands. That Van Leeuwen release move, super difficult. She'll do a stalter, bent arms a bit into a double tuck, and unfortunately sits that down. She was really high on that and almost a little too close to the bar. So looks like she lost her air awareness a little bit, open up early enough to find that landing.
And she landed close to the edge of the auxiliary mat.
It's a little bit scary when they're close into the bar, and I think the bent arms on the stalter and not finishing that quite where she's used to got her timing off.
9.775 for Nosek, and now Malia Hargrove. Only Wildcat right now using the vault with a full 10-0 start value.
It's an incredible 1.5. And drops out of the sky, finds the landing. That was so phenomenal. You don't see 1.5s landed that well because you talked about it earlier. It's so hard with the blind landing, but she gets great height, beautiful body position, doesn't cross her feet like some gymnasts do. Just excellent. I talked about in the open, she's a little underappreciated, I think, across the country for how difficult her gymnastics is. I would love to see her nail it like that.
Reason to celebrate for Hargrove and her teammates. Senior from Sparks, Nevada, has competed in every meet in her 4-year career. A 9.3 for Picasso. And now Jennifer McMillan.
Tough position for the freshman to be in after the fall. She has excellent lines and extension, good bail handstand. Last week, she hit her feet twice on the low bar. On these giant swings into her dismount, she hit it, looks like she hit it once and took that step back. So it's really hard to see, but the judges sitting so close can actually hear it when you hit the bar. So we'll see in the score. She did that. Here we can take a look. So you have to pipe past the low bar as you go into this dismount. Actually looks like she cleared it. And then this big double layout looks clear, but piped down a little bit, so a 10th or so step on that double layout.
Well, the freshman right now, a bar specialist. 9.975 for Malia Hargrove. So one judge gave her a 10 and the other a 9.95.
Would really love to see both of them go 10. In a lot of other conferences, it would have.
And now Jessica Castles.
She'll do a Yurchenko full. Great extension. Nice position, good toe point. On a hop like that, she looks like she hopped sort of straight up in the air as opposed to hopping back. So showed a little bit more control on the landing, and her score should reflect that. Good air awareness. I don't even know if her toes really left the mat on this. Just barely.
Again, judges give their scores in half of 10th increments.
It's very appropriate for the Arizona team to have the sunglass game, as strong as it is.
9.8 for McMillan and her lone routine scheduled on the day. And now here is Natalie Briones. Last time we'll see her, she had a 9.7 on vault. Last week at home, a career high 9.9 on bars.
Oh, goodness. So she does that Jaeger somersault from something called an eagle grip. It's her arms, her hands are inverted holding the bar. It's the most challenging entry into that somersault. And if you haven't gripped the bar perfectly, that it can be very difficult to have your timing correct. And so she just held on too long to catch the bar. It's so dangerous. Bars are incredibly dangerous. And for her to just remount like this shows how tough gymnasts are. Great pack salto.
And this means Oregon State is going to have to count a fall, as Picasso had a 9.3.
Really unfortunate. The Beavers should close with a double layout. Slings it out a little bit far, but holds on to the landing. It's going to be a tough break for the Beavers. I just hope that she's okay. That was a really scary fall.
A 9.85 for Castles. And now Elizabeth LaRusso. Final vaulter for the Wildcats.
She'll also do the Yurchenko full. Nice block and a great hold your heels together, there'll be no deduction on that landing. Good body position, and finds the landing. Not a question there whether she stuck that vault. Excellent job. Really phenomenal vault lineup and vault rotation for this team.
And with Oregon State having to count a fall, Arizona is in this competition.
Absolutely.
8.975 for Briones. And now here's Jade Carey going through her MC, her mental choreography. Salutes everybody. She had a perfect 10 on vault. How does she follow it up?
She'll do 3 release moves between the bars. The first 2 coming up right here will be connected. She does that Maloney, and she'll do a full twisting pack somersault. Wow. Excellent job. And then there's her Van Leeuwen. Really good control of her handstands. Now let's just see if she can control this dismount. Full twisting double back. Oh, just the smallest hop forward. That is about the only deduction I saw in that routine.
Her standards for herself are so high. I'm
Here's
happy with that landing.
that full twisting pack salto called the Bahardwaj. And then this Van Leeuwen, those skills named after the gymnasts who competed them internationally first. Check out her dismount. It's so crisp and clean, but just the tiniest of hop forward, and goes a 9.9.
So after a 10 on vault and 9.9 on bars for Jade Carey, 2 rotations in the book. Floor and beam are coming up.